What's up guys, welcome back. Garou from season 3 of One Punch Man. I enjoyed this episode. I'm getting my hopes up. So let's draw this. He's in his pose, flowing fist. I'm probably not calling that the right thing. But you know his martial arts. So I'm on the landscape page, use a pencil, use an eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. So it's all about sort of the arms in this one. Right, so it's kind of crossing over his chin. So we got like his face sort of up here, not centered, over to the left. And we will start with his eyes, very sort of sharp eyes. Up, across. And we kind of just spike it down. Little sort of hook there. And then the bottom of the eye. Into there. Okay, he's looking over sort of that way, and he's got like thin eyes, right? So it's kind of like a sharp sort of eye like that, and the pupil somewhere in the middle. And then he has spiky eyebrows, so we do like a check mark. So we're going back up here. Just darken up his top eyelid a bit more. No eyelid lines, but I'll give him one. I think he needs one. And the top of his eyebrow, so again, kind of just spiky sort of line like so. Okay. And then we have some frowns. That, and then his other eye. So we'll just go over here and do the other one. And his head is kind of turned, so this eye might appear a little bit bigger than the other. Right, and just thick, dark eyelash line. Do 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 do. Right, and then bottom eyelid just comes across there, and then that other sort of pupil area, kind of a thin circle coming down from here. And then his pupil just in the middle somewhere. And then we do his eyebrow. Kind of touches his eye on this side. So it goes like across the top eyelid. Spike a couple of times. And then his frown. He's been beat up a bit, so he's got some like lines around his eyes, like scratches and tired eye lines. So his nose is pretty simple. They just do the bridge of his nose, and then they do like a little curve just like that, just kind of underneath that line there. And then his nostril on that side, just a little dot. And then his mouth is just like a serious sort of downturned mouth line. And then a bottom lip line underneath that. I forgot his eyelid line over here. So his chin is cut off by his arm. Okay. You could draw the chin and then erase it afterwards. It's kind of up to you. But just to keep it a bit simpler, we'll just start from here and go up for his jaw. Right, jaw on that side, jaw on the other side. Like a gap between these two. Again, if you wanted to do the chin, if it was easier for you, you could. But I think this is simpler because you don't have to erase anything then. Right, and just like his forearm just curves across here. So you could draw it if we draw it now maybe. Just draw the curve of it anyway. And then we can come back. Okay, so he has like a spiky sort of V-like sideburn there. And another one on this side. And then his ears come around from there. It's bigger on this side because his head is turned away from us. So he's kind of 3/4. And then his ear comes up this way. Just the ear lines, some basic ear lines inside. They don't do much in terms of detail in the ears. Right, so then we just zigzag his hairline around. It's just this constant sort of big zigzag situation. Was it just me, or was Mappa supposed to do this season? What happened there? My imagination? I could be imagining that. Maybe it was just a dream where Mappa did it. Right, and they do like spiky hair coming out the side. If you know the character, you know his hair anyway. So it goes like up and dips in the middle. Just like static sort of electricity kind of hair. Right, so and then it just goes the other way. Yeah?
Is that YouTube time? Do you know what it?
No. Okay, and then there's like some textures inside here as well. Okay, so it's kind of all about this big arm. So his arm, so the forearm goes that way, and then we get like a bump for a bicep, and then a bump for his shoulder, his deltoid muscle, right? And this kind of bumps a couple of times around. It's unclear what's his back and what's... Okay, I'm going to guess, right? So let's see. We'll go this way. And then it has to be like a big deltoid. That could be his back. Anyway, we'll do this. Okay. And then I imagine this is like, what way would his? So we'll go tricep that way. And then bicep there maybe. Could be even bigger. We'll do that. And then, so that disappears behind the arm, and then there's like a black, everything's black, so it's not sort of clear what's back and what's shoulder. But this is his neck on that side, and then his forearm comes real long to his wrist, right? So it's the closest thing. So you get some like fold lines on his wrist. There. And then his other neck muscle here, bumping down this way. Right, we get some of his clothing and his like neck muscles in here. Right, so we got to try for this big hand now. So his wrist, so just kind of curves around here. And then you get sort of the bottom of the wrist, sort of bumping around this way. And then I think his forearm just goes quite thin, and then probably it's underneath some of that flowing energy. But if I was a forearm, probably that way. Then like more sort of forearm muscles there. So we'll get the other arm in. So I think we go sort of down here. His elbow sort of that way. His bicep, where's the bicep? It's underneath. I think it's underneath here. And then so like shoulder muscle kind of there. And then that way. And then he's got some folding lines on his wrist again. Just sort of curving around here. Then the forearm comes down that way. And then I think we can see like a little bit of light between the chest and the arm there. Tiny bit. And then it's like hips and waist and stuff goes down there. So chest is in there somewhere. But we got this flowing blue energy and stuff there. Right, so we deal with the hands. So hands are tricky now, so take your time, hit pause as I do each finger. So we'll go up this way for the hand. It's pretty straight there. And then when you hit a knuckle, you're going to curve over. Okay? And then the next knuckle, you change direction and go down. Tip of the finger curves around. 3 segments on each finger curving. And like a little bit of a suggestion of a fingernail there. And then you do this 3 more times, and the last one kind of sticks out a bit more. So we go up, across, down, around, fingernail, up, across, down, around, and fingernail. And then the last one sticks out a bit, so it goes up, out, down, around again, down that way, fingernail a little bit. And this one joins the side of his hand down to his thumb. So it goes down. And then we get his thumb here. Kind of a more round shape than the rest. Joins the base of his palm of his hand then. And just some lines on his hand then. And then we can just see like some of his side body just here, like his hips and abs and stuff. So he has these, this 6-pack. Like that. And then finally the big hand. Or, well, I might do some, do you want me to do the energy? I can't hear you. Do you want me to? Why aren't you talking? It's like, who am I talking to? Like his arm should be a bit bigger there. Yeah, let's do the big hand. And up. Right, we'll go over to there. Down again. Now this one's bigger than the other one. Very big hand. Huge perspective shift, you know, going on. Ring finger across. So because it's so close to us, they put a bit more sort of detail into it, you know. Ooh, that fingernail's too big. I can fix it later, but that it probably shouldn't be that big. He has massive fingernails. Down. It's ridiculous. Although it kind of, that's weird. Like, why does that look okay? It's just me. It should be about that size. Drawing is funny. Coming down that way. Go around. And then again, this joins the thumb. Just down here, thumb is like super big. So like, comes out down to there. The thumb is probably the closest thing to the camera, if there was a camera. It's just like the palm of his hand there. Some curved lines on his thumb, and then just across his hand like that. And of course, if you want, you can add the digital effect. You could draw it, you know, the sort of wavy lines and stuff. Garou. Season 3, Garou. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.